What's up, y'all? This is Hammer here again, back with another video. And today I'm gonna be talking about something quite unique, quite different. And I'm gonna be talking about the sort of topic in regards to black men and non-black women, right? Because one thing I've been hearing a lot, especially from folks, all over, right, from black women, black men, is that you know why is it that quote unquote black men are chasing non-black women? Why is it that black men, worship lighter skin here, the right? These are a lot of comments I will hear from black females and some black men. And so the question then becomes, okay, so is it true that black men as a collective have this sort of, lust for non-black women and white women in general? And my thing is yes and no, right? Here's what I'll say, right? In the United States, and this kind of happened to me, right? When you grow up as a young black male, when you turn on your television, when you watch a movie, when you are reading through magazines, the standard of beauty that is being portrayed to you over and over and over again is a petite white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. That's standard. And you see this being portrayed everywhere through our media. And so I do believe that, if you're a black boy and you kind of grow up in that environment, that's going to go in through your subconscious, right? Into your subconscious. Because if white women are going to be portrayed as this prize of beauty, right? That's, even if the only woman you're around are black, even if you only deal with black women, that's still going to somehow end up in your subconscious, right? Of course, that does not happen to everyone, but it does happen to some black men. Also, another thing is that because white women are kind of put as a standard of beauty, they are also viewed as a sort of trophy. So, yes, it is true that some black dudes, Nick Cannon said it, right? Some black guys, when they attain a lot of wealth, one way they try to show off their status is by getting, a white woman. Like quote unquote, a stereotypical white female. I'm like, Nick Cannon literally said that on one of his podcasts. And it's really all just a status symbol. But at the end of the day, despite all of that, what I will say is that fundamentally, the vast majority of black men in the country, United States, I will say fundamentally, when push comes to shove, they are going to deal with black women. And I believe the reason why is because in the media, interracial dating gets over romanticized. And I feel like people are not honest about all the struggles and all of the quote unquote, really all the tribulations you're going to have to face in that situation, right? So, for example, let's say you're a black dude and you're trying to deal with a white woman, right? Even if this white girl accepts you and she's she's cool and dealing with you, right? What you're going to have to deal with is number one, the family and the culture. So even if this white girl is cool, is accepts dealing with you, a lot of times the family is not going to accept you, right? Because more likely they want their daughter to get with a white male with blonde hair and blue eyes, right? And number two, the white culture and the white society is not going to accept you. So when you're out here walking with your white girlfriend, white wife, you're gonna get looks, right? You're gonna get stares. You may even receive violence from white men, right? Because in their minds, that's my woman, right? You may also receive attacks from black women because they view you as quote unquote betraying the race, right? You have to constantly deal with not just animosity from the quote unquote white family members, but you also got to deal with the fact that society in general is going to go after you. I'm like, if you're driving down the street with your white girlfriend and a white male police officer pulls you over and he sees you with a white girl, you have no idea how he's going to react. So that's one aspect that I think black men think about. I think why fundamentally, for the most part, they are going to choose deal with black women. But I think another aspect that, I'm kind of goes to the question, right, is that you're going to have racial clashes with your white female spouse, okay? When you had the quote-unquote George Floyd protest and you had the video of a white police officer essentially kneeling on George Floyd's neck and essentially killing him in broad daylight, you had so many white folks online talking about Blue Lives Matter, talking about comply. He should have complied. I'm like, you even had Crowder make a mock video of him kneeling on George Floyd's neck, right? Now here's the thing. The majority of white people in America actually vote GOP. The majority of white folks are actually independent or right wing leaning. That's the reason why white liberals have to cater to minorities. So because most white voters actually either independent or lean to the right. And so white liberals do not have the majority of the white votes. So as a result, they have to compensate by doubling down more on minority voters. And so if you're dealing with a white chick and something like quote unquote George Floyd happens, and she wants to tell you that George Floyd should have George Floyd should have complied. Blue Lives Matter. I'm like, how are you gonna deal with that, right? How are you gonna deal with that? So another aspect I think black men think about when they're when it comes to interracial dating is how are you going to resolve those racial conflicts? How are you going to resolve when those tough black issues come up, right? And number two, are you going to be comfortable having to explain, nuanced things to your spouse all the fucking time? Because there will be, she will ask you, hey, why do you keep talking about racism when black folks have civil rights, right? We have the civil rights bill. Why do you keep talking about it? Because why? She is not black in America. She's not going to understand the nuance. She's not going to understand the fact that, hey, even though you have the Civil Rights Act, right? Most of the Civil Rights Act was really made mainly for quote unquote black folks, right? And they undermined it by essentially expanding it to other groups and by including sex-based rights. And then on top of that, they took all of the affirmative action that was supposed to go to black men and gave it to essentially white women. She's not gonna understand those nuances, right? So when black men think about interracial dating, especially dealing with white women, right, they also think about these quote-unquote racial classes and whether or not are you going to be comfortable having to quote-unquote resolve, explain to your white female spouse all these issues, right? But I think, but I think another aspect I think black men think about when they're thinking of, when they think about, engaging in interracial dating is the children. I believe one of the core reasons why a lot of black men, for the most part, although some of them may date non-black women, although some of them may have sex with non-black women, the reason why fundamentally they will, I think most of them still, and probably will still deal with black women because they want the kids to look like them. And when you're dealing with a white female, you're dealing with a non-black chick, right? There is always this thing about who is the child going to side with. If you're a black dude and you're in an interracial relationship with quote unquote your white female spouse and you have a child, right? If that child comes out with quote unquote blue eyes and blonde hair, right? And pale skin, are you going to be comfortable with that? Because we know how in the black community, right, light-skinned black people are treated like shit. Let's keep it like they get bullied a lot because quote unquote, they're called weak and soft, right? So we already know how in the black community a lot of times, when folks are light skinned, right, we use it as a way to quote unquote undermine the blackness, the black card. So if you're a black man, and you have a child with this white female and the child comes out looking damn near white, right? Blonde and black, are you gonna be comfortable with that? And a lot of black men are not. I know I wouldn't be, right? And also number two, are you going to be comfortable, right, having to quote unquote deal with the family, in regards to that? Meaning that, look, the family is probably not going to accept you. And the family is probably not going to accept your biracial kids for the most part. Or if they choose to accept, or if they somehow choose to quote unquote, accept you guys, it will be more of them tolerating you. See, there is a difference between someone tolerating you and accepting you. So quote unquote, her white family may tolerate your presence, but that doesn't mean they accept you as that biracial kid. And so when people ask me, Hammer, do black men chase white women? I say yes and no, because I say yes. There are some black dudes that grew up where, white women were quote unquote being pushed at the standard of beauty. And for many of them, getting a white chick is a trophy to them, right? But I will say that at the end of the day, although you do have black men like that, the vast majority of black men are not going to chase white women. The vast majority of black men are going to deal with black women precisely for all the reasons that I just listed, right? For all the quote-unquote racial reasons I just listed. So that being said, yo, I'm gonna cut off there. So you guys, let me know in the chat what you guys think. Make sure to share, like, subscribe, and with that being said, hammer out.